Hello. How are we doing? We good? Fish, a filth wizard is never late. More contact glasses. Yo. Cleaning the spectacles. It's on now. Hopefully that's working. We're doing okay. How's everybody else? What's been going on? Do I hear what? What do I hear? I don't know what I'm...
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts! Great Scott!
The source is the boss. One does not simply become lost in the source because the source is the boss.
That's early. I've just had my dinner. Gosu, thank you.
Dash the deer and face the wheel.
Let's see what we get. No. Not today. Not today. Thank you, Gosu. We'll get that sorted out shortly. Alright, is that what it is? I was enjoying my post-dinner, just, you know. There's one missing. The green one is missing. Have to locate where it is. So what were we doing last time we were here? I'd got the gold down. I put the decals on. We did that. That needs painted. I'm just having a look at the best way of doing it, because I'm going to have to put an OSL in there that's bright red. And I suppose this, the barrel in here, will dictate what these ones are. No, not quite the same. Especially with stale crisps. Oh, that's a good idea. I wouldn't go around putting all the mask on until you're ready to go, because it can be quite difficult to get off if you leave it for too long. So we did some colours. I'm thinking some of that. The barrel, the main bit. Why are you upside down? You shouldn't be upside down in case you leak. I'm thinking a bit of warp lock, maybe. That's Sycorax. That's Baraknar. Balthazar. I'm going the wrong way. There she is. Good. I haven't found a range of paints that does enough as good. Say as good. It's a low bar. That does a good enough range of coloured metallics that I can replace a lot of the Games Workshop ones. They all seem to be okay, especially once because you use them that infrequently. The problem with them is they separate. You give them a shake and you think you've shook it enough and you haven't, and then they perform really poorly. So I do suggest people get one of these things. Yeah, the coppers for scale are really shit as well. So these are good, dead cheap. Allows you to go right inside the pot of a Games Workshop pot. Give them a mix. And they're not expensive. They're really cheap. What have I got in here? Oh, that's where my other Enelipse are. I did wonder. I keep buying inner loops and losing them. And inner loops, if you don't know what they are, is they're some of the best rechargeable batteries you can get. Especially the pros. They're worth getting some if you have stuff that needs AAs. Look at that, it's like chocolate. We'll do the thing. We'll do the thing. Don't forget some more crisps. Sorry, what was that? It's good. Deep rock is good. Or in your case, deep cock. Speaking of deep cock, Professor Fart Pounder's colon cleaner is the way to go. Thank you. She's spicy. Wow. The water does nothing. The thing is, when you've not had them for a week, and then you have one, it's like... It's bad. My water squirter bottle's over here. Right then, let's get some paint on. Right. At some point I'm going to have to clean the airbrush. But not right now. There we go. It's more like it. No, this paintbrush isn't. Look, it doesn't have a point, it's just round. I might need to give this a whistle, you know. It just doesn't quite feel as it should do, unless it's just because I had the bits from the top of the ball. There we go. So we've been up to today then? You're excited for the weekend? More VA nonsense, why now? Or is this the fallout from the thingies? Yeah, they look okay. Let's do the main thing. Well, there are... Alright then. There are runes on that, which I'm going to want to light up. We should be alright. Should be alright. Let's see. I think that's going to work. I think it'll work. Well, I don't want to hit that with my finger. So we'll get these bits in. We need to work out what we're doing with the pipes, because I don't want the pipes to be this colour. I need to work out what I'm doing with the emitter on the end as well. Let's say that this is that colour. Keep forgetting we still have to do all the details on here that I haven't done yet. Oops. See, so that front end's obviously under there, we'll have to leave that. Those will be okay, so we can put the metallics into here. Could maybe do with a bit of a copper colour for some of those pipes. I just don't know. What do you reckon? A copper for them? It might be too many metallics. There's going to be the gold trim, which will be fairly pale by the time we're done. And then there's this dark bronze in here, which will have bright red over it as well. Maybe we do them a cold metal, and we do our gold makeup on the emitter on the front. That's what we're gonna do. Go too much with it, it'll be crazy. Let's clean that. So if we need to do gold, we might as well get that blocked in with the gold now, and the guns on the tips on the end of that gun. That's what I'm thinking. So let's get one of these, this one. Squish some gold in. Where did I move that water to? Just go round and round and round. Spin it round to the other side. As long as I'm neat, we should have the silver bit in the middle still silver. Drop. Should be okay. Especially when we get our highlights on it. Well, hello there. I just got your message before I started stream. About you being on earlier on. You got the Camaro's negative battery line replaced and rebuilt the positive end too. Look at you. You had a day off or something today. You missed a sourcing already. You're making the most of it, doing everything. Right one so far in here. So what,
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts! Great Scott!
So BB doesn't have to go without. LLLLLLLLLLLLLLLL.
Go say thank you. You got Cronus washed and dual coated, and you're working on all the hand painted gold that goes under the photo etch. It'd be good to see it when now it's all dull, because it was really standouty, brighty, fancy last time I saw it. Okay, those are okay for the first pass.
Dash the deer and face the wheel.
Close. You were close. This one hasn't been in the fridge. This one's had some spicy chicken strips the other day. Got to put it back in that thing. That's pretty good. That sounds like the same size as the CR10S or the CR10. It's a good size. Yeah, I was looking at those ages ago. And then I decided to go for the CR10S Pro 2, which is ridiculously big. That's it. Physically big. I think it's just a little bit bigger than the CR10, but it's better build quality. Right. What are you doing with that then? Sauce. All right. I'm getting a wet nose off the end of my blooming bottle. That's not the greatest of sauces. Bloody tank factory before long, builder. How am I going to get this painted? I was trying to work out if I'd painted the tip. That'll be fun to play with. It's a completely different beast to resin stuff. The biggest hassle is getting them to stick properly to your base. Once you crack that, you're sorted with them. I just tend to get a glue stick and just put the glue stick all over the base, and it usually works every time. I mean, you could faff around and get it to just adhere properly using heating the micro surface of your build plate, but just put fucking glue stick down. Works every time. Does it have leveling knobs, or does it got an auto leveler? You can't see anything that I'm doing here, but I can barely see what I'm doing. So I'm just getting it done quickly. So we can work on something that... No, it does pretty much work. Well, okay, it does work every time. Glue sticks are best. Yeah, auto bed leveling's good. Because the pain in the ass with manual bed leveling is that the straightness of the bed is not the same when it's cold as when it's up to temperature. So you've got to heat your bed up to temperature, then level it. Because the element that runs underneath it will heat the bed up in different ways. And because it's a rigid surface, it'll want to twist with heat. On the little printer that's currently sat on my other desk that I've been playing with, to get it to work after however long it'd been, 2 years, I literally just got it down from the loft, cleaned it, installed Cura, went down to the speed, dropped the first layer speed down to like 4, was it 4 or was it 3 centimeters? I'd be even less than 3 centimeters a second. So it was going down really, really slow. Because on my printer it has a little screen and you can adjust the up and down on the, well, wherever you want through its print. So if you have the first layer going really, really slow, so if you have the first layer going really, really slow, if it's too high up, this is the crux of the matter when it comes to 3D printing, is imagine you're looking down, it's a bad paintbrush to do this, I'll just draw it. So, imagine you see that circle first, use a different colour. Get some red paint out. Or a silver pen. So, cross section of your filament circle. If this is your base plate here, that's your base plate, and your nozzle's here. It's your nozzle. You want it so it's not obviously like that because it won't adhere. You don't even really want it like that. And you definitely don't want it like that. You want it to be like a nice first squidge on the build plate. So as it's going round, you can adjust it negatively or positively on my screen anyway. I don't know how it works exactly on yours, but it'll probably be in the settings. And you can adjust where the point goes until it gets a nice squish. So once you get a nice squish on that first layer, you know it's going to stick at that point. And then from that point, it'll know exactly how high to do your layer lines from wherever it is. But if your bed's not, if it doesn't have auto bed leveling and your bed's like this, then we draw an imaginary line. At this point, it'll be a nice squish, but here it'll be a full circle, and here there'll be nothing because it's above the point line. So if you do have auto bed leveling, great, you're sorted. And that's all the battle you'll have, basically, getting it to adhere properly. Remember, it's like just smaller than a half moon. You can go lower than this for your first layer, but you don't really want to go higher than the half moon, because then it doesn't stick. Or it'll look like it's sticking, and then it'll do like a few layers round, because you usually use a brim to make it to stick. Don't use rafts. Rafts are old-fashioned. Nice brim, and then it'll look like it's doing fine. But if it's like this, as the head lifts up and moves across the piece, it can knock what's there if you don't have your Z retract right. And if it knocks it ever so slightly, it'll just become detached. So nice thingy. Yeah, but it's a lot easier to work out what's going on because you can actually see what the fuck's happening. And you can adjust it in real time. I think that gold was okay. The rest we'll do with metal. I should have probably even just done the metal on it first. Right then, next up. I'm going to knock this light off in a minute. I think it's the dark gunmetal. This one. ABS are also a lot more difficult than like a PLA or a, what's the other one you said you've got? Zewan was hot gluing yesterday, school project for the eldest. Anderson Shelton. Where's my text message? Text message my mouse. So PLA, I would start with PLA, get the hang of that, just doing little bits and bobs. Heat is the killer for ABS. I don't know whether it has an enclosure. If it's got an enclosure, fine. If it doesn't have an enclosure, get a big cardboard box, stick it over the top, and just keep an eye on it. Don't leave it unattended, and you'd have a much better time doing ABS. Open your windows doing ABS. PLA is fine because it's just corn. That's why some 3D printers have enclosures, yeah, because it's for doing ABS. It's because you need much higher temperatures as well. Yeah, I had much more experience doing traditional 3D printing than resin. when I did all the masks and stuff. I did hundreds of hours of printing and tuning. I mean, PLA can be really strong. It's obviously not going to be as strong as ABS, but for lots of stuff that we do in the hobby, PLA is plenty strong. It's hard to see any difference, but there is. Which one's this? This is the colour one. The good thing is about FDM printing is it's a lot easier to get true dimensional accuracy for things that need to be a certain size. Resin, it can be a bit of a pain sometimes because your parts go out of scale with exposure. More exposure, the bigger the part becomes. Less exposure, the smaller this part is. So if you're trying to get something exact to scale, resin can be a pain. So I printed this enclosure the other day. I'm going to turn the brightness down. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. The main problem with it, I don't know whether you'll be able to even see. Where's the light? So there's no like, you can't really see the lines very well because it's fine. You get a zoom in as well. So do you see the surface texture on it? That's caused by, I was using a Delta printer to do it. So a Delta printer is not the one that goes forwards and back and left and right. It's the one that's got the 3 legs that dance around. Because they dance around and it wasn't on quite a steady base, there's a lot more movement in the print head as it moves about. So a lot of this is called ringing. There you can see a good example of it now. So you'll see there's like echoes of the movement through the piece. You see them on this side a bit better, I think. Where are we? You see the echoes of the movement. It's more apparent when there's a detailed part in, because it'll stagger those echoes across the surface. That's the side which was on the bottom, I think. Yeah, that's the side that was on the bottom. Where's the light? And I've still got supports stuck in there, which I haven't been bothered to get out. I've got to take them out now. I've got tweezers. Maybe. maybe. I was just saying, Builder, this is something I 3D printed the other day using PLA, but it's plenty strong for the majority of the stuff we use printers for. There's one out. It fell inside. See if we can open it, because it's got one of the file that I printed had a what's it? Like a lip. There we go. Gonna get it off. What's it on? So yeah, for dimensional accuracy, things that need to be a certain size, FDM printing's great. Because there's a tiny little ledge in there for it to fit. Yeah, it's 3D printing's pretty fun. Just watch your heats. If you have any questions, Builder, or issues, just let me know and we'll help you. So I'm looking around at this and working out what needs to be a colour, and I'm thinking I need to have, maybe this box needs to be a different colour, because this is too much silver on here for me, especially when we have this central section. Just need something to break all this same colour up. Maybe even this. I mean, the dirt would do it. Let's get some black. We could maybe do a bit of wet blending or something just to bring some of that blue in. backside. See what we can do as well while we're here. Also, did you ever get any of those wax paints? The true metals? He's escaped again. Still not fully happy with all the different colours. Maybe bring some silver in. Maybe that'll help. Well, we have some metallic on the thing. We'll do a bit more work on this area here. Can I get the sides? This is going to be tricky. Okay, I think that'll work. Yeah, right. getting all these sort of, what do they call them, the couplers that connect into this thing. Oh, hit the side. Try that again. Edric, hello there. Why is my chat not updating? The old bronze. They're pretty good. Have you had to play with those? I thought you'd all gone quiet again. The iPad had stopped updating. Oh, well, this one needs all the details painted on it. We still got to paint all this front section up. We've got to paint these pipes up here. We've got to paint all this section in here. The steps. These detailed bits and this top engine section. Obviously, this gun, this side, and that detail. The front detail. The back. The other one's getting there. This one's still got a long way to go. By the end of this week, a pair of these should be at equal stages, probably before we get to the weathering. I want these to be ready for weathering the following week. Still got all those shields and stuff to do, which I put somewhere last week. Oh, they're on there. Just takes time. We haven't even done the gold on this. We're gonna get the gold on this one to the same stage as that one later. I want to finish blocking in this central gun section first, though. It's good. Good stuff. It's weird, but it's good. You just squidge a little bit out, get it on your brush, you brush it on so it's nice, and then you'll want to get like a sponge or something, ideally. Like soft, like a makeup sponge, and then just buff it into the surface. It's good stuff. I used the silver version on that icebox. That's what I did. Sorry you can't see, but I've got to be able to see. How's things going, Heinrich? How's the spawn? Yeah, those pipes work. I saw you did the jump marines. I don't know what you were going about with regards to the helmetless guy, though. You didn't put a picture down. Okay, we're just going to try and do these pipes in here. It goes through the saxophones on your up. I think it would make sense if I'd have painted the base of this in first black. Like all that section in there wants to be a different colour. Fixing lounge, basically, like it forces you to pick a bare head if you want charging pose or helmet, and with running with pistol pose. I'm sure you could cut something up. I'll have a look in a minute. this one in. Oh, I keep getting paint everywhere. All from my phone. To you. See what these instructions say. So you wanted... What are you on about? Can't you just put the head on the one you want to put it on? Why don't you just put the other helmet on it? Right, am I getting the wrong end of the stick here? Right, so let's have a look. Wait. Is it because there's this helmet on here? Is that your problem? Would you not? Well, why don't you try this then instead? Why don't you have this body section with the helmet, this part, this arm, will have that arm upwards like he's shooting, like he's on his jump pack going and he's shooting and he's forward with his gun, and basically just have this arm, that head. I suppose it would just be that, wouldn't it? Yeah, why don't you just do this and just angle that arm up? Or did it look like shit? Well, it's the same pose, because it's the same body section. All you're doing is you're angling that gun upwards, and then you're not fighting on with cutting bits. Show me I've got another angle of this. Yeah, just cut that peg off, that yellow peg. Gotcha. So in that case then, go for that, obviously with that helmet on. And instead of putting A8 on, because obviously there's going to be a hole somewhere. But you might have a better job rather than cutting the helmet off and leaving a big mess. This is probably easy to snip off, I would have thought, and leave less damage. But it's tricky to see exactly what's going on here, unless you've got the model up. I think you have. That gap there, I take it, is the one you're talking about. Yeah, so why don't you just take one of the existing bits with the sword, take the sword off best you can and see how it looks, rather than just having this hole. Just plug it in and see if it works. That might do you. Now, how long is it going to be before they release the jump packs as separate pieces, the new ones? There's something about this I'm not happy with. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know what it is I don't like. Why is this not updating? No, I'm not happy with it. The gun section. Why are you saying turn on bloody Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi's on, you pillock. And we're connected. This fucking iPad, man. Shit. I think what I'm going to do is get the masking tape. And mask off all of that. And then spray in there. And go from that base rather than this bloody mess that we're creating. Probably should have done it to begin with. At least then I'll have a nice base to colour the bits in I need to colour in, and the bits I don't need to colour in I can just leave. It might be a case of me getting caught up in the ugly phase. There's one way to find out. And that's to waste time doing this. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to hose it down. If in doubt. Tempted to spray black first. Well, I say spray black first. We have to clean the airbrush before anything. Agent, prop it up. It's going alright. We're just working out exactly what the hell we're doing. How are you doing? I think I'd left metal in here before last stream. Nice. We're just doing the same old, working on these flyers. We're getting closer. Just feels at the moment like we're not, but we are, because the proof is the model's getting paint on it. Always is. The last two vehicles I did at the same time were two rhinos. It was actually razorbacks. Ultramarine ones. That might just be because there's two. Right. I'm thinking we'll go really bright with this. Like... one of the metal colours. Not gunmetal. Not jet exhaust, not burnt iron. Silver. And spray it light. You have a whole pile of Reavers in a tray that you're slowly highlighting at the moment. Scratch painting does that. We did 10 Terminators last winter. Where the hell did that come from? Where did that come from? Now, if you do get metallic paint on your skin, clean it off. Because there's nothing worse than getting metal on your paint on you and then transferring it accidentally to a model. It's like glitter. Your fingertips especially. Unless you paint with gloves on. Yeah. We'll have to clean this bloody airbrush properly at some point. It's getting a skin. So I was going to do a Chaos Marine army at one point. I did one Legionnaire. Got to the trim and was like, I'm not doing an army of these. It's not happening. I also chose Night Lords as a kid. And then for the people that hate themselves especially much, is the Thousand Suns. Oh, you thought you hated painting trim, did you? Well, you can do some Chaos Space Marines first of all. That'll get you over the worst of it. Then, oh, next level, you've promoted yourself to painting Thousand Suns and Joy, which is 80% trim. We're just going to go with that, and then I'm going to make it how I want it with dirt. Well, with enamels at least. And I can tidy up this edge with either grey or black. I think I'm just trying to be too fancy with it. I'm going to line that with a brush with Dunkelgrau shadow. I don't know why you've decided to go for so many gaunts for that display you're doing. It's ridiculous. Bad enough painting like 20 for an army, never mind 200. I'm just darkening the surrounds of this enclosure in the same dark grey that we started out with. I want a bit of that blue. Where's my blue? Here it be. Pretty simple to do. Making a mess everywhere. That needs to dry a little bit. I want to go over and do a bit more highlighting on my original one. This one's gold, I think. This. No. I'll be bound. Well, I've still got the front. There's one down here to do. I haven't done yet either. If I don't do something that's obvious, it's usually because I'm fighting. What's the word? Fighting the part of me that's going, I can't be bothered to do this. I don't want to paint it. That's why I keep switching from thing to thing. So I'm getting sick of doing one thing until I go back and do another bit. Difficult. With knights, I can mentally break them into smaller parts, like the skeleton, the armor panels, an interior. This is just the entire thing, times 2. That's about where the gold wants to be. Is there a model that I never tire of? There isn't. Everything is work. As long as I keep my projects cycling, it's not too bad. It's when there's a need for me to do something, it's when it's the worst. Sometimes I'll be able to just work on something for hours and hours and hours and not realise the time. Then other times, I'll look at the clock every 5 minutes. And that's when, if you don't have a need to do it, like I need to do these, that's when you stop and you do something else. As soon as you get to the weathering part of it, the outlook on them will change. But they're always just a slog to get to that point. Well, that's the colour normal. That's it when it's in the light. So you'll look at it in two parts, colour and reflectivity. Colour. I'm not obliterating all the gold that's on there. We're just layering up this third tone. It's almost a silver. That's the colour we're working with. It's an almost silver, but not quite. Once we get all our washes on there, it'll also help it as well. We could start making. The thing is, we can't really start even making a spot wash for it because it's going to all be. Because the trim's that tiny. It's difficult to get right. You go back over there. So this hasn't even had its first round of trim highlights yet. Good metal. I'm going to make a start on these, I think. Yeah, watch.
Welcome to fucking Deadwood.
There'd be a follow. Michelle, welcome. Maybe that's a better look. So to paint this in, and I think this is the colour I used. Could be wrong. One way to find out. Use it and see. Once we get the enamels on it and we darken it and we get it right, it'll look so much better than it is there. It's very still rough and sketchy at the moment. Dirty water. That's the colour. You're forgetting this one hasn't even got its decals on yet. You only decide if you want to use painted trim on your marines, yeah? Gold does look nice on black shoulder pads, it does, but if you have the right sort of gold, it's also really easy. Like a lot of the games work, and you got to get the right tone gold as well. The characters you sent me to do, they will have gold trim on them. Yes, I think I need to check my reference pictures again. I think because your logo's gold, it might make sense. Plus, it'll mean they just have two colours if you don't do it. It might be worth just doing it. Starting to get there now on this whole gun line thingy, this big like line of whatever the hell it is, cannon thing. A tricky thing. Going to be painting inside there, unless I just black it out with enamel and not worry about it. Again, this is awkward painting, so I'm doing it off camera. I can see. It's not a super interesting part, it's just the inside of the cannon. Suppose I could just do it under like an OSL glow thing. No, that's a gun. The engines are here, the guns at the front. It's a frost cannon of sorts, I think. Now we'll do those pipes in black, and then we're going to paint this skull in. Yeah, I'm going to try. Well, we'll use yours, and we'll probably make my own to go on it. It's just the central circle bit. I want to try and maybe do like a background for it. I'll do one and I'll take it with me, and if it's no good, then we'll change it. Hey, Paulie, how you doing? Been a long day. We've had an alright day. Better than yesterday's day of breaking everything. Well, I was saying that I did manage to break off a screw in the guitar neck, which I had to dig out, and then epoxy the hole I made. That was fun. Sensible part of me is telling myself, why didn't you do these black parts after you'd done the bone? Then that wouldn't be like me. We're getting there on these today. We're just painting in more details that need to be done. The music's getting on my nerves though. That'll be getting changed shortly. That's exactly what it is, Heinrich. Transport, gunship. Where's Spotify now? That's the same fucking thing. Right, so if we're going to do bone on that, we need to find a decent colour that's not going to require 1,000 coats of paint because I'll get bored. The thing is, those box art ones were painted years ago. Oh,
People are making end of the world jokes. Like there is no tomorrow.
thank you very much. Welcome home. How you doing? So this colour is concrete. I'm going to assume it'll be fine. 3 geese, hello there. How's it going? We'll try that. Recently bought your first Warhammer kit to practice building them. Go on, now what did you choose? There shouldn't be a lot of gap filling stuff to do in Warhammer models. Especially on the AdMech, they're quite new in the grand scheme of things. As long as you cut all your sprues properly and clean up as you go along, you shouldn't really have any problems with gaps to fill. My first attempt at an army was AdMech. I only say attempt because I got bored. What did you get? What kit? You're eating, eh? What are you having for dinner next? They're the spindly fellas. With the weird, like, metal legs. You shouldn't need gap fillers for those. They're a really good kit. I built some and painted them, in fact. So, what are you using? Cutters, yeah? Have you got like a hobby knife and stuff? Yeah, what tools have you got, first of all? Yeah, if I remember rightly, they go together really nicely. Or at least they went together well enough for me to not need to do anything else with them. Maybe just maybe just a drink. Try again. Maybe there's just a little bit of sprue or something in the way. So when I was doing the Peter Pig Flames of War models, they were pewter. But because they were Sherman tanks, they were a joy to work with. Because they could just like hold the side of the tank, because it's just a flat surface. I could just get a file and just file the whole thing flat. It was like, only if Warhammer was this easy. What I would say is, if it's your first Warhammer kit, I don't know how much experience painting and modelling you've got, Geese. The spindly leg fellas, I think you're talking about. Not at all. So these are the first models you've done. Right, then what I would suggest is... Where's my cursor? Oh, that's not right. Don't aim for perfection. I got the link, even though you got sorted out. Yeah, I've built those. The fiddly? They are fiddly. Yeah, and don't aim for perfection, just build them, enjoy the process, don't stress about it. The next models you make will be better. I know somebody who does models. They don't. It's not like their main hobby or anything. They do video games. That's their main hobby, anyway. They do a bit of miniatures, and he's been painting the same 4 models for about 3 years. Just solid blocks of colour, and because he's that much of a perfectionist, if he messes up a bit, he thinks he has to repaint the entire thing. It's like, mate, I've painted hundreds of models in the time that it takes you to do one model. Stop trying to aim for perfection. Good enough will do. Otherwise, you're never going to become a better painter. And you're going to hate the fact that you can't do it. There's mistakes on all of these that we're doing. And once I've got all my washes on, which will hide a lot of the sins, I'll go back and work out whether I need to make them better or not. There's one right there. There's a bit of purple on the grey. There's a bit of purple on the grey there. Well, yeah, exactly. I wouldn't worry about filling and stuff, because you go into an entire new world of annoyance when you do that. Because all the fillers will, well, not all of them, but most of the fillers you'll see will shrink, and they're a pain in the ass to work with. And if they're in an area where you need to sand, many of them don't sand very well. I don't know really anybody who uses filler and stuff on Games Workshop models. Really. The odd little bit here and there on a large model, but not on troops. Make sure you glue in properly, and if they end up being push fit models you work on, then cut the tabs off and glue them. That's what I use all the time anyway. Milliput's not the best filler to use for miniatures at all, not for small scale stuff. You will just hate it. It's too, what's the word? It's too agricultural for miniatures. I do have recommendations, but to be honest, as you're just starting out, I would limit the amount of new things you have to work with. Introduce new stuff over time. You got any pictures of what you think you need to gap fill on them? I'd be interested to see what's happening with your models, if you don't mind. If you have a Discord, I'll have a look. inside. Let's take a wash on that and acrylic, like a. What wash should I put on there? And I drink. Have fun. Agrax, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to give that a little bit more time to dry, and I'll put a wash of that on it, and then we'll see whether we need to highlight up. Which is the harbinger of decay? Describe him. Is that the new one on the horse? Just make a Sigmar army. Do you want to stick him in the Discord? Or do you want to stick him in the chat? Let us know. Already did. Excellent. Let me have a look. There's my cursor. Right, so the one on the face, I would completely ignore that. And those by the legs, again, I would probably ignore. However, because you can probably fill that in with paint. The one on his, where you connect his leg to his bum. But in future, what you can do, I'll show you this technique because it's good. Yeah, the one where it's like his face connects to the neck, ignore it. It's probably just have it as like a seam. Right, let me get a bit of sprue. Yeah, honestly, that's nothing really to worry about. Right. These two sides are flat. Yeah? Where's my Tamiya extra thin? Or my equivalent of, because I have same stuff, different bottle. This is what I use. Same thing. Right. So what a lot of people will do is they'll go, right, I need to glue this onto there. There's two ways of gluing. You'll either get your glue, you'll put your glue on that surface, and you'll do that. Yeah? And you let go, it'll be glued. The other way people glue is you'll hold the bits together and you'll touch the glue to the part, and the capillary action will take the glue into the part and it'll stick. if when you're putting it together you notice that things aren't going together quite right, do the following. Get your glue, put it on one surface. Now Tamiya Extra Thin's not the best for this because it does want to evaporate. So put a couple of coats on until it starts to dissolve. You'll know when it's sort of ready. And then you'll do the same to the other side, which I'm going to just take a bit of this off. So I'll show you why we're doing it in a second. Oh well, because I just dropped it on the floor. Where did it go? Get another bit of screw. Yeah, exactly. Now this has a 35 on that side, which is going to be annoying. So what we'll do is we'll put more glue on here. And we'll soften that. And the double squeeze is what you want. Sometimes having a thicker glue will, make this a lot easier. So when you've got your both sides all glued together, if you can get a squeeze on the part, it helps because you get a load of squeeze outs in between, and that almost acts as your filler. When I was doing the Imperial Knight legs, where's he at? And I'll show you. This guy here. Physics, hello. When I was doing this, you get out of the way. These two bits here, like this here, is in two halves basically. Good night, Paulie. You take it easier. Rest up. So because these two bits are in halves, a lot of people will glue it together and there'll be a horrible big like seamy gap running down the leg. So what I suggest you do is you get a thicker glue than this, than your Tamiya Extra Thin, which is really good, but sometimes you want a thicker glue. And then I melted both sides and then I squeezed this leg together as tight as possible, and there was a bead of squeeze all the way out. It doesn't just squeeze out this way, it squeezes out inside, it squeezes all the angles. So once it dries properly, I could then just skim off the top, and then once this is painted, that'll just be like a completely round, solid entity. Because for those models that you've shown off, they aren't in any need of a filler. And the one that's on the leg, if it bothers you, just put an extra big blob of black paint on over that area and it'll be fine. You know what I mean? Just get a bit of blob paint in it and it'll be alright. And in future, get a thicker glue. I've got... Where's my other glue at? Here it is. So in my Extra Thin bottle, I actually have Revel glue. Revel glue is this stuff, which is Contactor Professional. I hate this bottle because you have to like squeeze it out, which is a nightmare. So I tipped it into this empty Extra Thin bottle, and you can see it's a lot more gloopy. It doesn't evaporate as quick, so it's really good for softening parts enough to get really good squeeze out. These are the two bits are glued. But yeah, that's what I would do. Get a good old squeeze out on between the parts. Yeah, you don't want to be using any, because if you start using filler on things like that, it's not the easiest to clean up. See, good squeeze out on that one. You can see it in the light. There's two different types of filler that people have. Don't use milliput, pain in the ass. It's the grain, even the super fine stuff. The grain size is generally too thick. But there are two types of filler that people do use. There's this sort, plastic putty from Vallejo. Has a problem. You can't really sand it, but it does come with a really fine nozzle. So what you can do is you can, on one that's not as old as this, if you've got like a gap, you can squeeze it into a crease and then use a wet brush and just like flatten it out nicely. Anywhere that you need to sand, it won't work. It will just come off. A line of sprue goo wouldn't work to fill that gap. It would do. It will it'll evaporate. I wouldn't go anywhere near the neck one because you'll just obliterate any detail there accidentally. But you could try and fill the leg one if you really needed to. Like I said, I wouldn't use any of this on that. We used some of this on one of the nights. Was it this I used? Oh no, it was Tamiya putty I used. So the other putty suggestion is Tamiya putty, which is solvent based. If you can get hold of it. This is stinky stuff. It uses chemical bonds rather than just hoping for the best. And I used it to fill a gap here. There's still a slight little gap on there, but I'm not even remotely bothered by it. If I use sprue goo on there, I would potentially destroy that detail. So I'll just put a little bit of filler on, use some thinner just to blend it in, and left it. And that's the only filler that is on this. Generally, on a line troop, wouldn't go anywhere near it. It's a waste of time. I'll just get it built, prime it, and then do the bit that takes the time, the painting. Filling can be a pain. Oh, we've put that plastic putty on this model, in fact. Was it this one? Yeah. After I'd painted it grey and had the stripes on, I discovered there was a gap in between these two panels that I didn't like. So I literally just squidged some on there and then went like that with my finger, let it dry, and then re-blushed in the paint. Hey Ragnar! Honestly, I would just leave it as it is and put paint over it, because your paint will do the job of the sprue goo without damaging the plastic. That's the way I would do it. Prime it, get a big blob of paint in. The paint will dry and mask that gap nicely. And it's in an area where it's the back and it's the bottom. Just because they're that fiddly and I know how small they are, they're going to be tricky. You don't want to squeeze more and slip and break something. I'm going to wash that. Dark wash. Not with that brush though, because that one's been in metallics. I mean, I think this one has as well. But... And that should do for that wash, I think. Let that dry and we can do a little bit of highlight on that. How have you been, Ragnar? What have you been up to? How's those Dark Angels looking? Are you winning? Ooh. What's happening with them? I might put a bit of that Agrax just on that bit behind it as well. Some are looking better. Well, that's alright then. She's having chicken nuggets. Well, she was. It's alright, you can put varnish over them. You did. Welcome back. Just waiting for this to dry so I can finish highlighting it up. I'm not sure about those missiles yet. I need to do something with them. We'll work something out. It might just be because they're flat red at the moment. Tomorrow then, the plan's going to be paint these in with those on both sides today. Paint the other little bits of details like the little sigil that's on this side. I might even paint those in because they're already on there. Chain and the danglies, etc. There's the sigil on the front to do in gold. Once that's painted in gold and these are done, and the detailed bits like that sigil and those are the engines as well. This will be ready for Saturday night. Will be decals on this one. Once the decals are on that one, we need to do the trim, redo the trim on this one, get it brighter like on the other one. Then it's spend a couple of days doing the bases, and then we can do the chipping. There'll be a little bit of chipping, like flak explosions and stuff on this one. Most of the weathering is going to be in the initial toning wash we do on it, and then there'll be some like vector, smoke vector marks on the wings, etc. That's the most of this. The other one will have a bit more scrapes and scratches because it's a lander. Mostly on the front section where it'll like ram into the ground and people will disembark. So that one will have a bit more standard chipping and weathering on. We might do a little bit of scratches and dings around this area where the marine gets in and out, but I don't know. We'll think about that. One thing I do need to do before I forget on this one is get this gold out. Highlight that other lineup. It looks really silver now, but it's just not in the light. Should use the white brush for that. That is, yeah. Oh, some sort of creature. Yeah, this washes and drying, so we'll probably do that in tomorrow's stream. Rather than wait for another 10 minutes just to do a little tiny bit of highlight. We'll let it do its thing. Where's my mouse? Been going on. Go see, thank you very much for the tips. Thank you for the biddies. See you tomorrow, Friday night. We're back on Twitch. We're going to continue with these, so I want to try and get them sorted out as quick as we can. But we're getting somewhere. There's the two as they stand. Well, as they sit. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, it's 11. It's the time. It's the time we finish. Oh, clocks went back 2 weeks ago. We start at 8 UK, minus 3 hours from now. You were in late. So yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Want to put some pictures on of your updates, Ragnar? Please do. Stick him in the Discord, we'll have a look. But yeah, we'll catch you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.